apparently this woman's going viral for saying that black women can't compete with white women when dating black men. Now, unclear exactly what she said. So let's hear it from the horse's mouth, and then we're gonna see what's going on.
Tell you, the moment I stepped into that man's life, he really didn't know how to deal with my femininity because I was not loud. I was not screaming. I was not trying to, be louder than him. I didn't interrupt him because that's not something that I learned from home. If somebody would speak, and especially a man, you would let that man speak and then you would listen and then say whatever you have to say, right? So I was clean. I cooked. He didn't know what it was when a woman is actually in the room asking him, like, do you want something to drink? Before I got myself something to drink.
I mean, that's interesting, but is that necessarily an issue with black women in America in general, or is that an issue with all young women who have been socialized on the internet to think that they can simply exist and haunt the presence of a man who has some fucking money and they don't have to do anything? Not cook nothing, not clean nothing, not go to work, nothing. Just do whatever they want, and you must provide absolutely everything and wait on their beck and call. So I can understand that, but I'm trying to figure out where the connection came from between what she said and applying that specifically to black women.
To only.
I mean, maybe that's because, from what I understand, she's married to a black man, so maybe that's the context we're talking about. She's talking about the context in which he grew up. So he grew up around a black family, so obviously whatever she's saying that he doesn't or hasn't experienced before would apply to his family or wherever he came from. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all black families are like that. And in fact, if you exclude black American families, a lot of immigrants, they behave exactly how you are saying is the desirable way to behave. Mm-hmm. They cook, clean, and fucking behave. Mm-hmm. Right? So I don't understand how this has morphed into the conservative talking point. Black women can't compete. Shut the fuck up. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that, and that's not actually factually accurate. Because as you well know, most black people are married to each other.
Do you want something to eat? Before I started to eat my food, I would ask him, do you want to have a bite? I would come out of nowhere and just have a fruit bowl and just offer him some fruit. He didn't know none of this. So my husband, back then boyfriend, really thought this was a dream come true. He didn't know how to deal with none of this because all this me coming through, just being nurturing by nature, his peoples and his family didn't even do that for him. Like the family, there is no family unit. The average family, especially black American family, has barely a family unit. There is no breakfast, lunch, and dinner at set times. And these are things that I introduced my husband to.
Interesting. Now, I think that's maybe where they got she's talking about black women, but that's not really what she said. She used her husband as an example because that's who she's dating. And statistically, there are issues with the black American family having all of its members there at the same time. And statistically, the statistics bear that out. Mm-hmm. But she said American families, and especially black American families, because that's who she's dealing with. That's who she's talking about. But who she's rather married to. Mm-hmm. But I don't necessarily think that that's an attack on black women specifically unless she says that. Or unless she clarified in a video that I have not seen that maybe y'all know about, where she said, "Oh yeah, no, I'm talking specifically about black women and they can't compete with me because I'm white." Like I didn't get that part.
It's funny how a lot of people who have this type of perception don't understand that there are successful black families that do not speak out and publicize their life and family on how they're
and do not subscribe to ratchetry.
Right. They don't subscribe to the ratchetry. They're healthy, thriving, good family, black families. They don't go on to social media to show
how they're acting properly.
Right.
And so just
not
because
only that is there are some families that certain things that they don't do. There are families that back in a certain time, they didn't even tell their kids or loved ones that I love you. It was just a felt thing. They don't express it verbally. There
are cultural differences.
Right. And certain families do certain things differently. That's all it is.
And just because
just because her husband,
just because the majority of what you see is ratchetry on the internet does not mean that that represents the majority of black families. And even when you have families who don't have their father or are missing one or the other parent, people can still come out and socialize properly if their parent teaches them well.
yes,
So that's not an epidemic specific to the black community, because every day on this fucking app I see ratchet white women and ratchet Spanish bitches saying the exact same stupid shit. I won't cook and clean, I won't do this, I won't do that, blah blah blah. That's not a black woman problem, that's a young woman problem.
that's just like turning on the news. Every time I turn on the news, I hear something negative rather than more positive things.
Right.
My family. Can you imagine that impact that I had on him back then? So gentlemen, do not be afraid of traveling. There are so many more women out there who are willing to take care of you. It doesn't matter if they're young, it doesn't matter if they're older. They are willing to take care of you, willing to work with you, willing to be a part of your life.
Yeah, and again, what she just said is not race specific. Because if you go out of America, there are a whole lot of people who are not white. There are a whole lot of black women in all type of countries who are glad to play the quote-unquote traditional role that you're looking for. So again, that's not a black people problem. That's a young American people problem. And that applies to all the races. Like, and again, you can watch any of these dating shows, any of these pop balloon, whatever the fuck. There's all type of different colors in there, and they're all saying the same dumb shit. So don't act like because you like Donald Trump and you white and you a woman that makes you better than all the other black women who somehow always shout and scream and do whatever. Like, keep your fucking stereotypes to yourself. Them shits do not apply to everybody. I'm sorry to break it to you. Let's hear what some of the other people said in response to this and how they turned it into a black people thing. Let's see. Because to be honest, even though I was speaking about white women saying that they are better and using this as an example, I have also seen black women use this exact same woman's whatever this woman said as an example of how black women are being put down. But as I just spent several minutes explaining in this video, I don't see where she did that. We're not gonna listen. Like I said, there are plenty of people who I would like to string up for their racial bullshit, metaphorically. This is nothing. This is a nothing sandwich.
I tried to stop myself from going down this rabbit hole of this German woman explaining why she loves black men, why black men love her, and how she had no competition when it came to black women. And
Is there a part of the video that I missed? If there's like a part 2 or a clarification video where she went full January 6th, please tell me, because otherwise what are we talking about, bro? Stop. Don't Dr. Umar me, shorty.
I guess the offense is taken where she said that in her husband's family members, they never
did X, Y, Z.
Did X, Y, and Z,
right.
so he would never experience that from a black woman. So black women are possibly thinking that she's saying that black women can't compete with any other women.
Like, you know? I can sort of see how you got that, but at the same time, you're making logical leaps and assigning a nefarious intent to her without evidence of that, right? Because in the law, right, if you do something and it can both be interpreted as criminal activity and not criminal activity at the exact same time, it is considered non-criminal activity without more information. You understand that? If the law is written in such a way that permits that to happen, where I stepped on the grass blade and doing that is both a crime and not a crime, and there's some confusion there, then some rational confusion, reasonable, right? Then you're automatically not doing the crime. It's not illegal, right? AKA you get the benefit of the doubt. So here it's like you could interpret this racially, I guess, but I need more context.
Yeah.
So until I have the context, I have to say that y'all going a bridge too far.
True.
Stopped myself because I found myself getting
Because all that shit she just said, shorty did not say that.
Yeah.
Well, there was no need for me to get upset because everything that this German woman knows about black women, she was fed these lies from black men.
Oh, hell no, bitch. Hey, nah. You see? Oh, hell no, bitch. What's wrong with you? How did we get here, bruh? How did we get here? Are you one of us? Are you sure about that? Like, what is shorty talking about? She was fed these lies from black men. How is it a lie that no woman ever cooked clean for him and brought him fucking food?
Yeah.
That's a fact. He said that. His mom black. He dated black women. They did not do this.
He's relaying it.
Those are facts
Facts,
told.
yeah.
They did this. This is what they look like. They were like, what are you talking about? He's repeating the facts. And she repeated them back and she said, no, well, I did that. And these are the people who said they didn't do that. Like, explain to me where it was that she maligned the whole race. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah.
She didn't grow up in black families. She wasn't raised around black people. She doesn't probably know even one black woman to
She heard of at least a couple who ain't do what they supposed to do from an eyewitness firsthand. Huh? His mama didn't do no shit. He didn't clean whatever the fuck you talking about. His girlfriend didn't bring him nothing. She didn't cook nothing. She said, I'm not gonna pay for nothing. She didn't do shit. Huh? Where was the lie made up? Lies. He told his real life. Bitch, are you stupid? The fuck out of here.
base this narrative on. She's been perpetuated lies that make her feel superior, and she's running with that because she's probably simple. Okay, I'm gonna let her have it.
You're simple.
What I want to do moving forward, and what I encourage other black women to do moving forward, is not give it the attention, block, and go on. We know that we are not the loud, boisterous, just out of pocket people that they have painted us to be.
Like I said, you can interpret it as being, what she said, as stereotypically offensive in some of the shit that she said, because that loud comment in the beginning was a little weird, and then to juxtapose black American families later on in the statement, you could connect them logically depending on how you look at this situation. But at the same time, like I said, is there really enough context to be like she was coming at black women all crazy? I don't know if there is. You black, what you think? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it was a subtle thing. However, I don't think that I do believe that they're blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah.
I don't think that she was coming at the totality of all black women. But she was just stating, like my husband said, stating a fact.
Yeah. But it could be also possible that he's one of those black men that hates black women and says that they ain't shit and that's why I want to date white women, blah, 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 only. Because I see niggas that be talking that nut shit. So it's entirely possible that that's the type of nigga she's with and that's the type of time they on. But again, context, brother. Where's it at? I need more of it in order before I wheel out the guillotine. Because I got it back here, you know what I'm saying? But I need evidence, all right? I can't just convict man without evidence. I need evidence, then the guillotine will be summoned. It's not that complicated. Come on now.